Hey everybody, Corey, the scruffy looking nerd hoarder here. I know it's been a while. It's been a long while. Basically, life has a way of sneaking up on you and things happen. The past couple of years, I was just minding my own business, trying to do my thing, and life was over there in the corner, and it came up and just kicked me square in the crotch, saying, hey, this would be funny. Anyway, I know it's been like a year since the last video and 2 years since I did anything with new product, but did have something new come in. So we're going to take a look at that today. 2 years ago, I did a video talking about this, the Atari 2600 Plus, and went into some detail, did a lot of talking about what it can do, what it can't do, and hooked up everything. And then kind of put it away and forgot about it. Now, about a month or so ago, I was scrolling through on Reddit, and somebody posted in the Atari 2600 forum that Woot had a deal on the 7800 Plus. Now, that was a blast from the past. I had not seen or heard anything from Woot in a really long time. Near and dear to my heart, bunch of us computer guys, we all had this little bullpen area back in Woot's heyday before Amazon bought them, and we just lived for the Woot off. You'd come into the office and somebody would say, hey, Woot off, and then 7 guys sitting around with their screen refreshing, waiting for the next thing to come up so we could try and get a bag of crap. Several of us did. Out in my shed, I still have to this day a Woot bucket that came in one of the bags of crap that I bought. So anyway, I went to Woot, took a look at it, and sure enough, they had the Atari 7800 Plus on sale. And I managed to pick this up for about $60. And that is significantly less than what I paid for that 2600 Plus. It really wasn't on my radar, wasn't worried about it too much because the 2600 Plus already played 7800 games, but when it was on sale for $60, I just had a really hard time passing on it. So, what we're going to do today is we're going to go ahead and open the 7800 Plus. We're going to do the same thing we did with the 2600 Plus, and we're going to compare it with my original 7800. So, let's cut away from this. We're going to set up the table. We're going to get a regular CRT TV hooked up. We're going to hook up a HDMI LCD screen. We're going to put them side by side, see what we can do. Okay, so as you can see, got the original 7800 hooked up over here to this CRT TV going through a VCR. I was going to try and capture the video directly from the VCR, but it just wasn't working. I bought cheap stuff that I shouldn't have, but maybe in the future if we do some other stuff, then I will look into getting some higher quality stuff that will do better capture. But what we are going to do now is we are going to do the box opening of the 7800 just like we did the 2600. Now, first thing we do, get the plastic off of this, and you know what? This is a box knife. This is what you use to open boxes, not scissors. now we can actually see things. So tape shut. Again, box knife. Have you played your Atari today? Well, I played an Atari today, yes. This is boxed up exactly like the 2600 was. It's got the smaller version of the Atari, and it's got an accessories box in there. So let's see what we have in here. Here is the 2600 Plus, and again, compared to an original 7800, much smaller form factor. Included in the box we have an instruction manual for Crystal Quest, which I have to assume is a cartridge that is in there. A quick start guide. Tells you how to hook it up. I think it's going to be pretty straightforward though. Yeah, this is it. So plug things in, turn them on. Oh my God, this box does not want to come out of here. It is snug and fitting. There. This box, Atari. Oh. Okay, so here's what we have in the box. Yes, we have the Crystal Quest game cartridge. It says Bentley Bears Crystal Quest. We have the wireless controller. We are not dealing with this. This is probably one of the most uncomfortable joysticks I have ever used in my life. Okay, so this is interesting. We have a thumbstick for that wireless controller. Okay. Interesting. What does the quick start say about this stuff? DB9 and USB dongles. So apparently we have to, I think the USB dongle might be so you can use the controller with a different device. We will find out. We are going to use this thumbstick though. It is just plastic, so you probably don't want to snug that up too much. I see it's got a USB-C port on there, no battery compartment, so we might have to charge this up for a while. In the box we had HDMI cable, and this is in 2 USB cables. Are they the same? That's a USB-C, which is what I saw on the back of the controller. Okay, so they are both USB-C controllers, or cables. One, presumably, is to provide power to the 7800 Plus. The other one is so you can plug it in and charge the controller, possibly while you use it, or maybe use it as a wired device on a PC or something. Apparently, the 40 some odd people that watched my video about the 2600, none of them actually worked for the Atari Corporation, which is, making these things, because yet again, they did not provide the actual adapter, they give you the cable, but you are forced to provide your own USB power adapter. Still irritating. I mean, like I said in the 2600 plus video, that is something that you can go down to any store, Walmart, Target, Five Below. You can get a cheap one, but they're cheap, and it's not as bad on this one because I only paid $60 for it. But when I paid full price for the 2600 plus, why couldn't they throw in a $5 USB connector? Why do I have to go and run down to the store and find one? Luckily, I've got like a quart bag full of these things that I've collected over the years, so I've got one I can use, but still, this is a throwaway. Don't follow Apple on this one. Put stuff in there so you can actually charge things. So I'm going to pause this video. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to dig out that power connector. I'm going to hook up to the other TV over here, and we're going to start comparing the two of them. Because as you can see, we've got Centipede going over here. All right, I went ahead and hooked it up. I did find one of my USB power adapters that would actually work. It took me 2 tries, but I did get one that would work. I set the 7800 to 4x3, and the DB9, it actually doesn't have the USB plugged in, so this is kind of nice because it's a DB9 connector, so I could theoretically use the wireless controller with my original 7800. We'll try that in just a little bit. What we're going to do right now is we're going to plug in the I've got an original Galaga game. We're going to try that out on the 7800 plus first. Boots up 720p, and just like the 2600 plus, it is loading an emulator, except it's a 7800 plus OS. Apparently it's got that down in the corner, and now now we've got Galaga. Do we have any volume? Yeah, we've got volume on it. So we'll take the controller, and it's actually got 2 buttons, which is interesting because I didn't know that the 7800 controllers had 2 different ones. So okay, so the Galaga game works good. I still can't get over the difference between the CRT and the LCD. It just doesn't look right. For example, we can see over here on the CRT, we standard. Well, I got the volume now. It's got that nice pixelated look. Sounds great. I love my little CRT TV that I got here. So let's compare what we just saw over there to the 7800 Plus, which is going HDMI in 4x3 to the larger screen. I have to admit, the cartridge going in doesn't have that satisfying clunk. Although with the 7800 original, there was some sort of a weird manufacturing problem with that, where original 7800 cartridges, they fit in really, really snug. When I was playing with this earlier, really had to put one hand down on top of it, yank that cartridge out, and it was really, really snug. But you get that satisfying thunk when you know it's in there. Don't really get that on the Plus. It goes in and it won't go any further, but there's just a question for us old schoolers that Okay, is it in or not? Well, let's see what the Centipede looks like on this. The controller is really responsive. I'll give it that. So let's see what the game that came with the 7800 Plus is like. I just like with the 2600 Plus, the amount of time it takes to actually boot up a game is kind of annoying for those of us that are used to the cartridges. Again, for example, if we plug Centipede in over here, boom, we're running. It's that quick. It just fires right up. Okay, apparently this is actually this game actually has a continue mode. Interesting. I have no idea what this game is even about. Looks like a Mario Brothers clone. Okay, that kills you. I might have to look and see how you actually play this game. Okay, so like we did with the 2600 Plus, we're going to take the game that came and we're going to plug it into the original 7800. And we'll see what happens. Comes right up. The buttons actually are different. But they don't do anything. Okay, that's interesting. With the original controller, you push up to jump instead of the buttons to jump. Now, out of curiosity, we're going to unplug the 7800 original controller. And we're going to plug the dongle in on the original 7800 and see if we can use this with an original. Yeah, look at that. Buttons are not working the way I expect them to, though. So what if we put Centipede on it? So that's about all the tests that I think I can do here. Here's my thoughts on this. The 7800 Plus, I don't see that it is doing anything different than the 2600 Plus. It came with a different game. It looks like it is a new game that was made specifically for the 7800 Plus release. But the 2600 Plus, it played 7800 games. Do you want a 7800 Plus? Well, if you want that wireless controller, then yeah. I mean, it is a nice little controller. It does not have batteries you can change, so you'll have to charge it. There's another thing you're going to have to do. Should you buy it, if Woot still has them and you can get them for $60, then yeah, they're a nice looking little machine. The smaller form factor, it just kind of makes it cute. The wireless controller is pretty good. Honestly, I'm probably going to stick with my original 7800 just because I like the way it boots up immediately. I like the way it works on a CRT. It just looks more true to the original. It gives me that nostalgia feel. So, do I regret getting it? No, because I got it for like $60. No big deal. What I could do though is I could take this with me with a few select games and show them to my granddaughters, and because then I don't have to haul the CRT around. It's got the HDMI out. I can plug it directly into the TV in their house without worrying about it, and they can have a chance to play the game with a controller that's probably a little bit more familiar to them. So that's my take on it. I know this is a really short video. I didn't want to get too in-depth with the cameras and everything else, because honestly I did that on the last video. It was with the 2600 plus, and I'm just not seeing that there's a whole heck of a lot of difference. So I didn't feel like, doing all of the different camera angles. I'm shooting in my office today because the basement is completely packed full of stuff. I'm hoping that before too long I'll be able to do another video where it's basically the 2025 haul video. There's been a lot of stuff that I have acquired in the past year that I'd like to talk about, and maybe get some votes on what exactly I should be working on next. What's the thing that excites you guys? So hopefully we'll be able to get that done soon. I have to watch my old videos and find out what actually is new since then, so I can show it to you. So that is it for this video. Fairly short, I think. And if you can get your hands on one of these cheap, then you probably should. It's a fun little device. If you already have a 2600 plus, maybe, but both of them, like I said, will play all the same games. So until next time, remember, it's not hoarding if it's cool shit. See ya.
Thank you for watching the Scruffy Looking Nerd Hoarder, station SLNH, the Internet. This concludes our broadcast day.